Reprogram whatever you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you will experience in your life. AKUPTHE program, ladies and gentlemen, listen to Meep Your Mind is a computer, and for too long you've been running outdated software. That software was installed by your parents, by teachers who didn't believe in you, by failures that whispered you're not enough, and by the environment that told you to play small. But what if you could change it? What if you could reprogram your mind, and with it, your entire destiny? This is not some wishful thinking hype. This is neuroscience. This is behavioral psychology. This is personal transformation. And it begins with a decision to no longer be controlled by the past. Because here's the truth, in your mind is either your prison or your power, and you get to choose. Let's walk through some powerful steps to reprogram your mind for success, abundance, energy, and unstoppable drive. You ready? Let's go. Interrupt the pattern. The mind is a machine of habits. Every day, we operate from the same emotional and mental software we ran yesterday and the day before that. Think about it. How many of your thoughts today were actually new? Research shows that over 90% of our thoughts are the same as yesterday. That means if your thinking is filled with self-doubt, worry, frustration, procrastination, or fear, guess what? You're going to relive that reality over and over again. That's the program running your life, the way out. The first and most important step to reprogramming your mind is to interrupt the pattern. Imagine you're driving a car and every single morning you take the same road to work. That road is familiar, it's easy, it's automatic. But what if that road leads to a dead end? What if that route is actually taking you away from where you want to go in life? You wouldn't keep driving it, would you? Yet most people keep running the same mental patterns every day and wonder why they aren't getting different results. The power to change begins when you slam on the mental brakes and decide, I'm not driving this route anymore. To interrupt the pattern means to become aware of the loop you're stuck in. Whether it's waking up already anxious, checking your phone and comparing your life to others, eating out of stress, or telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. These are loops. They're deeply wired into your nervous system, but you are not your patterns. You are the awareness behind them. And once you wake up to that, you have the power to create something new. The way to interrupt any pattern is through your state, your physical, emotional, and mental energy in the moment. You can't think your way out of a pattern if you're in the same low energy state you were when you created it. You've got to shake it up, break it, snap out of it. Tony Robbins often says, emotion is created by motion. That's not just motivational talk, it's science. When you move your body with intensity, you send new signals to your brain. You disrupt the flow of cortisol, adrenaline, and stress hormones. You take control of the moment. Let's say you're in the middle of negative self-talk. Maybe you just made a mistake and your mind starts the loop. I'm so stupid. I always mess things up. Why can't I get anything right? That loop might have started in childhood. It might be tied to shame or perfectionism, but the moment you catch it, you have a window, a split second where you can do something different. What if you clapped your hands, stood up, shook your body, and shouted a stop P? What if you smiled or laughed or did 5 jumping jacks? That sounds silly, but what you're doing is breaking the neurological pattern. You're creating a space where something new can exist. It doesn't stop with movement. Use powerful language as your or pattern breaker. Say out loud, this is not who I am anymore. I choose to move forward. I choose power over pity. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. So if you declare something with emotion repeatedly, it begins to form a new groove in your brain. That's the beginning of reprogramming. You're teaching your mind to obey a new direction. You're not reacting, you're creating. Another powerful way to interrupt patterns is to change your focus. Wherever focused energy flows, if your mind is spiraling into anxiety, ask yourself, what am I focusing on right now? Maybe you're focused on what could go wrong or who might judge you or what you don't have. In that moment, make a radical shifting focus on gratitude, on progress, on opportunity. Say out loud 3 things you're grateful for. Remember a time you overcame something hard. Visualize the future you're building. This isn't spiritual fluff. This is a neuroscience-backed rewire technique. Changing your focus changes your emotions, and your emotions dictate your behaviors. You see, most people try to change their behavior without changing the root pattern. That's like cutting weeds instead of pulling them out. You'll get temporary results, but the old grams will resurface under stress. Pattern interruption, when done consistently, pulls the weeds out by the roots. It tells your nervous system we don't live there anymore. There's no transformation without awareness, and there's no new result without disruption. So commit to it. Every time you catch yourself slipping into the old story, interrupt it, move, speak differently, focus elsewhere, raise your state. You're not just reacting, you're rewriting, because the moment you interrupt the pattern, you open the door to a new possibility. And in that space, you become the architect of your mind. Feed your mind daily. Imagine trying to build a world-class athlete without proper fuel. It's not possible, right? You wouldn't put subpar gas into a sports car and expect it to perform at its peak. Yet so many of us do this every day with our minds. We're not intentional about what we feed ourselves mentally, and we wonder why our lives don't reflect our potential. The reality is, what you feed your mind determines the quality of your life. Every single day, your mind is taking in information from the moment you wake up until the moment you sleep. Your brain is absorbing thousands of thoughts, images, sounds, and messages. But here's the kicker: the mind doesn't discriminate. It doesn't know the difference between what's true or false, positive or negative, empowering or disempowering. It simply accepts what it's given, and this is how the patterns we've talked about are created. If you want to reprogram your mind and achieve greatness, you have to start feeding it the right fuel every single day. The food for your mind isn't just your thoughts. It's the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, and the books you read. You have to take responsibility for what enters your mind, because just like you wouldn't put junk food in your body and expect it to function optimally, you can't fill your mind with negativity and expect it to help you achieve success. Think about the people you spend time with. Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Are their words adding value to your life or draining your energy? Many of us are influenced by the people around us, and if those people are constantly complaining, gossiping, or engaging in destructive behavior, it's no wonder our minds are filled with negativity. Your environment shapes you in ways you may not even realize, which is why it's critical to be intentional about the media you consume and the people you spend time with. Now, let's talk about the specific actions you can take to feed your mind daily in a way that empowers and strengthens you. First, make it a habit to consume material that inspires and challenges you. You can't expect your life to grow if your mind isn't fed with new ideas, perspectives, and visions of possibility. This means reading books that expand your knowledge, listening to podcasts that motivate you, and watching videos from thought leaders who encourage you to think bigger and act bolder. Every day, read something that stretches your thinking. Whether it's a chapter of a book or an article that challenges your current beliefs, make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. The information you read will eventually become the foundation of your beliefs and actions. The more you fill your mind with positive, empowering, and expansive ideas, the more those ideas will begin to shape your reality. The second thing you need to feed your mind is affirmations. Words are powerful. What you say to yourself on a daily basis becomes the script for your life. If you tell yourself you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that you're not capable, those thoughts will become your reality. But if you tell yourself that you're worthy of success, these are the three: make that you're growing stronger every day, and that you are more than achieving your dreams, your subconscious mind will begin to believe it and act accordingly. Affirmations are a powerful tool to rewire your brain. Make them a daily habit. Speak them out loud in the morning when your mind is still fresh, and anchor them in your body. As Tony Robbins often says, you must speak your affirmations with emotion. When you say them with intensity and conviction, your mind doesn't just hear the words, it feels the energy behind them. That's when transformation begins. Another powerful tool for feeding your mind is visualization. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you close your eyes and visualize your goals, your brain begins to form neural pathways associated with those goals. It's like creating a mental blueprint for your success. Spend 10 minutes each day visualizing your future, the life you want to create, the person you want to become, the impact you want to make. See it, feel it, believe it. But here's the thing: you can't just consume information, you also have to produce it. Your mind craves growth, and growth happens when you challenge yourself to create. Writing down your thoughts, journaling about your dreams, and sharing your ideas with others are all ways to engage your mind actively. The more you produce, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you grow. One of the most powerful ways to feed your mind is through learning from others. The most successful people in the world didn't get there on their own. They learned from mentors, they modeled successful behaviors, and they were always curious. If you want to reprogram your mind, surround yourself with people who inspire you and learn from their experiences. Seek out those who have accomplished what you want to achieve and absorb their wisdom. Now, let me ask you something. How much of your day is spent feeding your mind in a way that supports your goals? How often are you consuming content that challenges you to become better, stronger, and more resilient? If the answer is not enough, then it's time to make a shift. Feeding your mind daily isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the fuel that powers your mind, shapes your identity, and propels you toward your dreams. The truth is, you can't afford to feed your mind with anything less than the best. The more you feed your mind with positive, empowering, and expansive information, the more your life will reflect the richness of that mental fuel. Change your beliefs. Beliefs are the guiding principles that shape every action and decision we make. They define who we are, what we can achieve, and what is possible in our lives. Beliefs are not just abstract concepts. They are the very foundation upon which we build our identities and our futures. If you want to reprogram your mind and transform your life, you must first examine and change your beliefs. The reality is that you're either supporting your success or limiting it. Every belief you hold about yourself, your potential, and the world around you either empowers or restricts you. The process of reprogramming your mind involves identifying those limiting beliefs and replacing them with empowering ones that align with your highest potential. Our beliefs are often formed early in life and are influenced by our environment, upbringing, and experiences. Many of these beliefs are shaped by people we trust, such as parents, teachers, and peers, or by the culture and media we consume. Unfortunately, many of the beliefs we inherit are not supportive of our dreams and aspirations. They may tell us that success is reserved for others, that failure is something to be avoided at all costs, or that we are somehow not good enough to achieve greatness. These limiting beliefs form the blueprint for our lives, and they dictate how we approach challenges, opportunities, and setbacks. But here's the key: your beliefs are not set in stone. They can be changed. And when you change your beliefs, you change the course of your life. The first step in changing your beliefs is becoming aware of the ones that are holding you back. Most people go through life without ever questioning the beliefs that shape their actions. These beliefs are often deeply ingrained in the subconscious mind, and they run on autopilot, influencing our decisions and behaviors without our conscious awareness. It's crucial to take a step back and examine the beliefs that are driving your thoughts and actions. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about myself and my capabilities? What do I believe about success, failure, and growth? It's essential to identify any negative or self-limiting beliefs that might be sabotaging your success. Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief true? More often than not, limiting beliefs are based on false assumptions, past experiences, or the opinions of others. They are not facts. They are simply interpretations of the world around us. For example, if you believe that you're not worthy of success, ask yourself, why do I believe that? What evidence do I have to support this belief? Are there people who have achieved success despite their challenges? When you challenge your limiting beliefs, you begin to see them for what they truly are, misconceptions that no longer serve you. The next step is to replace these limiting beliefs with empowering ones. This is where the real transformation begins. You must actively choose to adopt new beliefs that align with your goals and dreams. Instead of believing that success is reserved for a select few, choose to believe that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Instead of thinking that failure is something to fear, choose to believe that failure is simply a stepping stone to success, a lesson that propels you forward. The key here is to consciously choose beliefs that empower you and align with the person you want to become. One of the most powerful ways to instill new beliefs is through the use of affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself daily, and they can be a powerful tool for reprogramming your mind. When you repeat an affirmation, you are reinforcing a new belief and gradually reprogramming your subconscious mind to accept it as truth. For example, if you're working to build your self-confidence, you might affirm, I am confident, capable, and deserving of success. The more you repeat these affirmations with conviction and emotion, the more they will become ingrained in your mind. Visualization is another powerful tool for changing your beliefs. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals and living the life you desire, you create a mental image that aligns with your new beliefs. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. So when you visualize your success, your mind begins to align your thoughts and actions with that vision. The more vividly you can imagine yourself succeeding, the more your beliefs about what is possible for you will shift. It's also important to surround yourself with people who support and reinforce your new beliefs. The people you spend time with have a profound impact on your mindset. If you're constantly surrounded by negative influences, those beliefs will seep into your subconscious mind and hold you back. But when you surround yourself with people who believe in you, encourage you, and share similar goals, you'll be more likely to adopt empowering beliefs that align with your success. Seek out mentors, role models, and supportive communities that will help you cultivate the beliefs necessary for your growth. Changing your beliefs is a process that takes time and effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. As you replace your limiting beliefs with empowering ones, you'll begin to see changes in your thoughts, behaviors, and results. You'll start taking more confident and decisive actions toward your goals. You'll begin to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to avoid. Your new beliefs will create new patterns of thinking and acting, and these new patterns will drive you toward the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, the mind is incredibly powerful, and when you change your beliefs, you change your entire reality. Change your beliefs are the lenses through which we see the world. They dictate not only how we perceive ourselves, but also how we respond to every situation in life. The truth is, our beliefs are so powerful that they create our reality. If you believe that success is difficult or that you're not capable, your mind will find evidence to support that belief, and your actions will reflect it. On the other hand, if you believe that you are worthy of success and that obstacles are simply opportunities to grow, your life will begin to transform in ways you might never have imagined. To truly reprogram your mind, you must begin by changing your beliefs. We all have beliefs that were formed at some point in our lives, many of which were shaped in childhood. These beliefs were influenced by our parents, teachers, peers, and the media we consumed. Some beliefs were empowering, helping us move forward with confidence, while others were limiting, holding us back from reaching our full potential. For example, you might have been told that money doesn't grow on trees, or that failure is something to be avoided at all costs. These beliefs can keep you stuck in a cycle of limitation, unable to break free and achieve your goals. Changing your beliefs starts with awareness. The first step in shifting your beliefs is to identify what those beliefs are. Many people live their entire lives never questioning their beliefs. They simply accept them as facts, unaware that these beliefs are actively shaping their reality. Take a moment and ask yourself, what beliefs do I have about money, success, relationships, and my own capabilities? Are these beliefs serving me, or are they holding me back? Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief really true? Most of the time, limiting beliefs are based on false assumptions or outdated information. For instance, if you believe that you can't be successful without working 80-hour weeks, ask yourself, is that really true? Are there people who have achieved success while maintaining a healthy work-life balance? In almost every case, you'll find evidence to the contrary. By questioning the validity of your beliefs, you start to weaken their hold over you. The next critical step is to replace your limiting beliefs with empowering ones. This is where your focus and intention come into play. You need to consciously choose new beliefs that will propel you toward your goals. For example, if you've always believed that you're not good enough to succeed, you can replace the belief with something more empowering, such as, I am more than capable of achieving my dreams. Every day I am growing and learning. I am worthy of success. This shift in belief can change your entire outlook on life, leading you to take action from a place of confidence and empowerment. One of the most powerful ways to install new beliefs is through affirmations. When you repeatedly affirm a new belief, your subconscious mind starts to accept it as truth. Affirmations work because they flood your mind with positive, empowering thoughts that replace the negative and limiting ones. The key is to say your affirmations with feeling and conviction, as emotion is the gateway to the subconscious. For example, when you affirm, I am worthy of success, you need to feel the truth of that statement in every fiber of your being. The more emotionally charged your affirmations are, the more quickly they will begin to take root in your subconscious mind. Another way to change your beliefs is to visualize the person you want to become. The mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. This means that when you visualize yourself as successful, confident, and powerful, your mind starts to build the neural pathways that align with that vision. By consistently visualizing your success, you begin to change your beliefs about what's possible for you. Over time, this visualization will lead you to take the actions necessary to bring that vision into reality. In addition to affirmations and visualization, surrounding yourself with positive influences can significantly impact your beliefs. The people you spend time with have a huge influence on how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. If you're constantly around people who have a growth mindset and believe in their ability to succeed, those beliefs will begin to rub off on you. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by people who are negative and doubtful, their beliefs will seep into your subconscious, reinforcing your own limiting thoughts. Choose to surround yourself with those who lift you up and inspire you to reach your highest potential. Changing your beliefs requires commitment and consistency. It's not something that happens overnight. You have to make a conscious effort every day to reframe your thoughts, challenge your old beliefs, and replace them with new, empowering ones. The more consistently you practice these new beliefs, the more they will become ingrained in your subconscious mind. Before long, you'll find yourself acting in alignment with these new beliefs, and your reality will begin to shift in ways you never thought possible. Beliefs are the foundation of your life. They determine the choices you make, the actions you take, and the results you achieve. If you want to reprogram your mind and create a life of success, fulfillment, and abundance, you must start by changing your beliefs. Choose to believe in yourself, in your potential, and in your ability to create the life you desire. When you do, you will begin to see the world and your place in it in a completely new light, and your life will transform before your eyes. Change your beliefs. Beliefs are the guiding principles that shape every action and decision we make. They define who we are, what we can achieve, and what is possible in our lives. Beliefs are not just abstract concepts. They are the very foundation upon which we build our identities and our futures. If you want to reprogram your mind and transform your life, you must first examine and change your beliefs. The reality is that your beliefs are either supporting your success or limiting it. Every belief you hold about yourself, your potential, and the world around you either empowers or restricts you. The process of reprogramming your mind involves identifying those limiting beliefs and replacing them with empowering ones that align with your highest potential. Our beliefs are often formed early in life and are influenced by our environment, upbringing, and experiences. Many of these beliefs are shaped by people we trust, such as parents, teachers, and peers, or by the culture and media we consume. Unfortunately, many of the beliefs we inherit are not supportive of our dreams and aspirations. They may tell us that success is reserved for others, that failure is something to be avoided at all costs, or that we are somehow not good enough to achieve greatness. These limiting beliefs form the blueprint for our lives, and they dictate how we approach challenges, opportunities, and setbacks. But here's the key: your beliefs are not set in stone. They can be changed. And when you change your beliefs, you change the course of your life. The first step in changing your beliefs is becoming aware of the ones that are holding you back. Most people go through life with ever questioning the beliefs that shape their actions. These beliefs are often deeply ingrained in the subconscious mind, and they run on autopilot, influencing our decisions and behaviors without our conscious awareness. It's crucial to take a step back and examine the beliefs that are driving your thoughts and actions. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about myself and my capabilities? What do I believe about success, failure, and growth? It's essential to identify any negative or self-limiting beliefs that might be sabotaging your success. Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief true? More often than not, limiting beliefs are based on false assumptions, past experiences, or the opinions of others. They are not facts. They are simply interpretations of the world around us. For example, if you believe that you're not worthy of success, ask yourself, why do I believe that? What evidence do I have to support this belief? Are there people who have achieved success despite their challenges? When you challenge your limiting beliefs, you begin to see them for what they truly are: misconceptions that no longer serve you. The next step is to replace these limiting beliefs with empowering ones. This is where the real transformation begins. You must actively choose to adopt new beliefs that align with your goals and dreams. Instead of believing that success is reserved for a select few, choose to believe that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Instead of thinking that failure is something to fear, choose to believe that failure is simply a stepping stone to success, a lesson that propels you forward. The key here is to consciously choose beliefs that empower you and align with the person you want to become. One of the most powerful ways to instill new beliefs is through the use of affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself daily, and they can be a powerful tool for reprogramming your mind. When you repeat an affirmation, you are reinforcing a new belief and gradually reprogramming your subconscious mind to accept it as truth. For example, if you're working to build your self-confidence, you might affirm, I am confident, capable, and deserving of success. The more you repeat these affirmations with conviction and emotion, the more they will become ingrained in your mind. Visualization is another powerful tool for changing your beliefs. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals and living the life you desire, you create a mental image that aligns with your new beliefs. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what is real, and what is vividly imagined. So when you visualize your success, your mind begins to align your thoughts and actions with that vision. The more vividly you can imagine yourself succeeding, the more your beliefs about what is possible for you will shift. It's also important to surround yourself with people who support and reinforce your new beliefs. The people you spend time with have a profound impact on your mindset. If you're constantly surrounded by negative influences, those beliefs seep into your subconscious mind and hold you back. But when you surround yourself with people who believe in you, encourage you, and share similar goals, you'll be more likely to adopt empowering beliefs that align with your success. Seek out mentors, role models, and supportive communities that will help you cultivate the beliefs necessary for your growth. Changing your beliefs is a process that takes time and effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. As you replace your limiting beliefs with empowering ones, you'll begin to see changes in your thoughts, behaviors, and results. You'll start taking more confident and decisive actions toward your goals. You'll begin to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to avoid. Your new beliefs will create new patterns of thinking and acting, and these new patterns will drive you toward the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, the mind is incredibly powerful, and when you change your beliefs, you change your entire reality. Change your habits. Our habits are the invisible forces that shape the quality of our lives. Whether we realize it or not, we are constantly influenced by the patterns of behavior that we repeat every day. The routines we follow, the actions we take, and even the way we think are all products of the habits we've formed over time. In fact, much of what we do on a daily basis is automatic, and our success or failure is often determined by the habits we've cultivated. If you want to reprogram your mind and transform your life, you must change the habits that no longer serve you and replace them with new, empowering ones. The challenge with habits is that they are deeply ingrained in our subconscious minds. Once a habit is formed, it becomes automatic, requiring little to no conscious thought. This is why habits are so powerful, because they work in the background, influencing our actions and decisions without us even realizing it. This can be both a blessing and a curse. If you have positive, productive habits, they will propel you towards success. But if you have negative, self-sabotaging habits, they can keep you stuck and prevent you from reaching your full potential. The first step in changing your habits is becoming aware of the ones that are holding you back. This requires honest self-reflection and the willingness to examine your behaviors without judgment. Look at the actions you take on a daily basis. How do you spend your time? What activities do you engage in regularly? Are these habits moving you closer to your goals, or are they taking you further away? Often the habits that hold us back are small, seemingly insignificant actions that compound over time. Constantly procrastinating, checking your phone mindlessly, or engaging in negative self-talk may seem harmless in the moment, but over time, these habits create a pattern of behavior that leads to missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. Once you've identified the habits that are limiting your success, the next step is to replace them with more empowering habits. This is where the process of reprogramming your mind becomes crucial. You can't simply stop a bad habit without replacing with a better one. The mind resists a void, so if you want to break a bad habit, you must create a new, positive habit to take its place. For example, if you have the habit of procrastinating, you might replace it with the habit of taking immediate action, even if it's just a small step toward your goal. If you tend to engage in negative self-talk, you could replace that with the habit of practicing gratitude or affirmations to reframe your mindset. One of the most effective ways to create new habits is by starting small. Often, people make the mistake of trying to overhaul their entire routine all at once, which can feel overwhelming and lead to burnout. Instead, focus on making small, incremental changes that you can easily integrate into your daily life. Start by identifying one habit you want to change, and then break it down into manageable steps. If you want to develop the habit of exercising every day, begin by committing to just 5 minutes of exercise each morning. Once that becomes automatic, gradually increase the time and intensity until you've established a consistent exercise routine. Another powerful tool for changing habits is habit stacking. This involves pairing a new habit with an existing one. For example, if you already have the habit of drinking a cup of coffee every morning, you could stack a new habit, such as journaling, right after you have your coffee. This leverages the power of an existing habit to make the new habit easier to adopt. By associating the new behavior with something you already do regularly, you are more likely to remember and follow through with it. In addition to making small changes and using habit stacking, it's important to track your progress. Monitoring your habits not only keeps you accountable, but also allows you to celebrate small wins along the way. Tracking helps reinforce the positive changes you're making and reminds you of how far you've come. Whether you use a habit tracker app or a simple journal, tracking your progress provides you with a sense of achievement and motivates you to keep going. When you see your efforts paying off, you're more likely to stay committed to the process. Changing your habits also requires a shift in your environment. Your surroundings have a profound impact on your behavior. If you want to develop a habit of eating healthier, for example, it's much easier to do so if you keep nutritious food visible and accessible while removing junk food from your environment. Similarly, if you want to develop a habit of reading every day, create an environment that encourages reading by keeping books within easy reach and setting aside a dedicated time each day for this activity. By consciously designing your environment to support your new habits, you make it easier for your brain to automatically engage in the behaviors you want to cultivate. Accountability is another important factor in habit change. When you involve someone else in your journey, you increase your chances of success. Whether it's a friend, family member, or a coach, having someone to hold you accountable creates an added layer of motivation. This person can provide encouragement, help you stay on track, and offer valuable feedback as you work to change your habits. Even if you don't have someone in your immediate circle, there are online communities, support groups, and accountability partners who can help you stay committed to your goals. Finally, it's important to understand that changing habits is not an overnight process. It takes time, persistence, and patience. Studies show that it can take anywhere from 21 to 66 days to form a new habit, depending on the complexity of the behavior. During this time, you may face challenges and setbacks, but it's important to stay committed to the process. If you slip up, don't beat yourself up. Instead, use it as an opportunity to learn and adjust your approach. The key is to stay consistent and keep taking small steps toward your new habits every day. Changing your habits is one of the most powerful ways to reprogram your mind and transform your life. By replacing negative habits with empowering ones, you create a new foundation for success. The more you practice these new habits, the more they become automatic and the more they shape your reality. With consistency, patience, and a clear focus on your goals, you will begin to see remarkable changes in your life, and you'll be well on your way to achieving the success you desire. Cultivate emotional mastery. Emotions are a powerful force. They can drive us to take action, inspire creativity, and fuel motivation. On the other hand, they can also paralyze us with fear, lead to destructive behaviors, and keep us trapped in cycles of negativity. If you want to reprogram your mind and create lasting change in your life, cultivating emotional mastery is essential. Emotional mastery means learning how to manage your emotions in a way that serves your goals, supports your well-being, and empowers you to take positive action, no matter what external circumstances you face. The first step in cultivating emotional mastery is recognizing that emotions, while powerful, are not inherently good or bad. Emotions are simply signals that communicate something about our thoughts and beliefs. Positive emotions, such as joy, gratitude, and excitement, are signals that we are aligned with our values and purpose. Negative emotions like fear, anger, and sadness are often signals that something needs to change, either in our mindset, our environment, or our actions. The key to emotional mastery is not to suppress or ignore negative emotions, but to learn how to interpret them and use them as tools for growth. One of the most effective ways to manage your emotions is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment without judgment, allowing you to observe your thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. By practicing mindfulness, you can develop a great awareness of your emotional state and create space between stimulus and reaction. Instead of automatically reacting to a stressful situation with anger or frustration, mindfulness allows you to pause, reflect, and choose a more constructive response. This pause is crucial for emotional mastery because it gives you control over how you respond to your emotions rather than letting your emotions control you. Another key to emotional mastery is emotional intelligence, which involves understanding and managing your emotions, as well as recognizing and responding to the emotions of others. Emotional intelligence is essential for building strong relationships, making wise decisions, and leading with influence. It starts with self-awareness, being able to identify and label your emotions accurately. Once you are aware of your emotional state, the next step is to manage your emotions effectively. For example, if you feel anxious before a big presentation, instead of letting that anxiety overwhelm you, you can use techniques like deep breathing, visualization, or positive affirmations to calm your mind and refocus your energy. By learning to regulate your emotions, you take the power away from negative emotions and turn them into opportunities for personal growth. One powerful tool for cultivating emotional mastery is reframing. Reframing involves changing the way you interpret a situation or experience in order to shift your emotional response. For example, if you receive critical feedback at work, your initial emotional reaction might be to feel hurt or defensive. However, by reframing the situation and viewing the feedback as an opportunity for growth and improvement, you can transform the negative emotion to a positive one. Reframing allows you to shift your perspective and find the lesson or opportunity in every situation, which is a crucial skill for mastering your emotions. Another important aspect of emotional mastery is learning to detach from external events and other people's emotions. Often, we allow external circumstances, such as someone's criticism or a challenging situation, to dictate how we feel. When we tie our emotional state to what is happening around us, we lose our power and become reactive. Emotional mastery means learning to take responsibility for your own emotions, regardless of external events. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of allowing that to make you angry or frustrated, emotional mastery involves choosing not to let that external event control your emotions. By detaching from the need for external validation or approval, you regain control over your emotional state and can navigate life's challenges with calm and confidence. One of the most effective practices for cultivating emotional mastery is gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that can instantly shift your perspective and elevate your emotional state. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you flood your mind with positive emotions that counterbalance negative ones. Gratitude is shown to improve mental health, increase happiness, and reduce stress. By cultivating a daily gratitude practice, you can train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life, which helps to reduce the influence of negative emotions. Whether it's keeping a gratitude journal, expressing gratitude to others, or simply taking a moment each day to reflect on what you're thankful for, gratitude is a simple yet powerful tool for emotional mastery. Another critical aspect of emotional mastery is learning to forgive, not just others, but yourself. Holding on to past grievances or mistakes can keep you emotionally stuck and prevent you from moving forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but it does mean releasing the emotional hold that resentment or guilt has on you. By practicing forgiveness, you free yourself from the weight of negative emotions and create space for healing and growth. Self-forgiveness is equally important, as it allows you to release any feelings of guilt or shame that might be holding you back from achieving your full potential. When you forgive yourself and others, you are taking back your emotional power and choosing to focus on the present moment rather than dwelling on past hurts. Building emotional resilience is also a key component of emotional mastery. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of challenges. Life will inevitably throw curveballs your way, but emotional resilience allows you to navigate those challenges with strength and determination. To build resilience, it's essential to adopt a growth mindset, the belief that challenges are opportunities for learning and growth. Instead of viewing setbacks as failures, resilient individuals see them as stepping stones toward greater success. By developing resilience, you create an emotional foundation that allows you to face life's difficulties with grace and confidence. Finally, cultivating emotional mastery requires practice and commitment. It's not something that happens overnight, but rather a continuous journey of self-awareness, self-regulation, and growth. The more you practice emotional mastery, the better you'll become at managing your emotions in a way that serves your goals and enhances your well-being. Whether it's through mindfulness, reframing, gratitude, or forgiveness, each practice you implement brings you one step closer to mastering your emotions. And as you master your emotions, you unlock the power to take charge of your life and create the success you desire. Overcome fear and limiting beliefs. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions that hold people back from achieving their potential. It can paralyze you, make you doubt yourself, and prevent you from taking the necessary steps toward your goals. Fear often manifests as a voice inside your head that says, "You're not good enough, you can't do it," or "It's too risky." These thoughts are not just mere doubts, but limiting beliefs that keep you trapped in a cycle of inaction and self-doubt. If you want to reprogram your mind and create lasting change in your life, you must confront and overcome these fears and limiting beliefs. Only by doing so can you unlock the true potential that lies within you. Fear in many cases is based on a false perception of reality. It often stems from past experiences, societal conditioning, or assumptions about the future that may never come to pass. Fear can be seen as a response to an imagined threat or danger that may or may not exist. However, the feeling of fear is real and powerful, which is why it can feel so overwhelming. The key to overcoming fear is understanding that it is a natural part of the human experience and learning how to respond to it in a way that does not control you. Fear is not something you can eliminate entirely, but it is something you can learn to manage and use to your advantage. The first step in overcoming fear is acknowledging its presence. Often, we try to ignore or suppress our fears, hoping they will go away. However, this only allows fear to grow stronger and more pervasive. By acknowledging your fears and naming them, you take away their power. Instead of running from fear, you face it head on and gain clarity on what is truly holding you back. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What is the worst case scenario? And how likely is it to happen? This exercise helps to demystify the fear and makes it easier to rationalize. In many cases, you will find that the things you fear are not nearly as dangerous as your mind has made them out to be. The next step in overcoming fear is to change your mindset. Fear often stems from limiting beliefs, thoughts and beliefs that constrain your potential and define what you think is possible. These beliefs are often formed early in life based on the opinions of others, past failures, or societal expectations. For example, if you grew up hearing that you weren't good at math or that you couldn't succeed without a college degree, these beliefs may have become ingrained in your subconscious mind. To overcome fear, you must challenge and replace these limiting beliefs with empowering ones. This requires reframing your thoughts and shifting your focus from what you can't do to what you can achieve. Reframing is a powerful tool in overcoming limiting beliefs. It involves changing the way you perceive a situation or belief in order to empower yourself rather than limiting yourself. For instance, instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough to start my own business," reframe the belief to, "I have the skills and the passion to make this work, and I can learn as I go." Reframing allows you to see obstacles as opportunities and challenges as stepping stones to growth. When you change the narrative in your mind, you begin to dissolve the power that fear and limiting beliefs have over you. Another essential aspect of overcoming fear is taking action despite it. Often, fear manifests as procrastination, making you put off decisions or actions that could move you closer to your goals. The longer you wait to take action, the more fear grows. The key is to take small, consistent steps forward, even when you feel afraid. Action is the antidote to fear. The more you take action, the more confident and capable you become, which in turn reduces fear. You don't have to take huge leaps. Start with small steps and build momentum. Every step you take reinforces the belief that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Visualization is another powerful technique to overcome fear. When you visualize yourself succeeding, you create a mental image of success that your brain begins to accept as possible. Visualization helps to rewire your subconscious mind and replace fear with confidence. By imagining yourself achieving your goals, you program your mind for success and reduce the fear of failure. When you vividly picture yourself overcoming challenges and handling obstacles with grace, you prepare yourself mentally for real-life situations. It's also important to understand that fear of failure is often at the root of many limiting beliefs. The fear of failure can prevent you from even trying, but failure is not the end. It is a necessary part of growth. Every successful person has failed multiple times before reaching their goals. The difference is that they have learned to embrace failure as a valuable lesson rather than a reflection of their inadequacy. When you stop fearing failure and begin to see it as a stepping stone to success, you free yourself from the grip of fear. You realize that failure is not something to be avoided, but something to be embraced as a natural part of the process. Self-compassion plays a critical role in overcoming fear. Often, we are our harshest critics. When we fail or make mistakes, we tend to beat ourselves up and reinforce the limiting beliefs that fuel our fear. Instead, practice self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding. Remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes and that each mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. When you approach yourself with compassion and grace, you reduce the fear of judgment and create a mindset that is more focused on growth and perfection. Surrounding yourself with a supportive environment is also crucial in overcoming fear. The people you associate with can either reinforce your fears or help you overcome them. If you surround yourself with people who support and encourage you, you will feel more confident and motivated to take action. Seek out mentors, coaches, or friends who uplift you and challenge you to push beyond your comfort zone. The right environment can help you reframe your beliefs, take risks, and embrace uncertainty with confidence. Finally, it's important to remember that fear is often a sign that you are stepping out of your comfort zone and growing. Growth happens when you challenge yourself, take risks, and confront your fears. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, use it as a signal that you are on the verge of something big. Every time you face your fear and take action, you expand your capabilities and become stronger, more resilient, and more prepared to handle the challenges life throws your way. Overcoming fear and limiting beliefs is a journey that requires consistent effort and courage. By acknowledging your fears, reframing limiting beliefs, taking action, and practicing self-compassion, you can break free from the mental barriers that have been holding you back. As you continue to challenge yourself and confront your fears, you will unlock your full potential and open the door to a life of limitless possibilities. Develop unshakable confidence. Confidence is one of the most vital ingredients for success in any area of life. It is the foundation upon which your actions are built, and without it, even the most brilliant ideas or plans will struggle to manifest. Confidence empowers you to take risks, face challenges, and push through obstacles with unwavering belief in your abilities. However, confidence is not something you are born with. It is a skill that you can develop and strengthen over time. Reprogramming your mind to cultivate unshakable confidence is essential if you want to achieve your goals and create the life you desire. The first step in developing unshakable confidence is understanding that confidence is not the absence of fear or self-doubt. Rather, confidence is the ability to take action despite these feelings. Everyone experiences moments of insecurity or fear, but those who are truly confident do not allow these emotions to control them. Instead, they acknowledge their doubts and take proactive steps toward their goals regardless of how they feel. The key to building lasting confidence is taking consistent action, even when you don't feel entirely ready or capable. By stepping outside of your comfort zone and tackling new challenges, you build a track record of success that reinforces your belief in yourself. One powerful tool for developing confidence is positive self-talk. The way you talk to yourself has a profound impact on your self-esteem and confidence levels. When you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough or that you will fail, you are reinforcing the belief that you lack the ability to succeed. On the other hand, when you use positive affirmations and encourage yourself, you begin to reprogram your mind to believe in your potential. Start each day by repeating empowering statements like, "I am capable," "I am worthy of success," or "I have the power to achieve my goals." Over time, these affirmations will become ingrained in your subconscious mind and will help you approach challenges with confidence and conviction. Another essential practice for developing unshakable confidence is setting and achieving small goals. Confidence is built through success, and the best way to experience success is to break your larger goals down into smaller, manageable tasks. When you focus on accomplishing small wins, you create momentum that propels you forward. Each small success you achieve reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving more. Additionally, by setting realistic goals, you minimize the risk of overwhelming yourself and give yourself the opportunity to celebrate progress along the way. These small wins gradually build up your confidence and create a sense of accomplishment that encourages you to continue pushing forward. Visualization is another powerful tool for boosting your confidence. The mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and one that is real. When you visualize yourself succeeding in your endeavors, you create a mental image of success that your mind begins to believe is possible. Visualization helps to build confidence by training your brain to focus on positive outcomes rather than potential failure. Before you take on a challenging task or goal, take a few moments to close your eyes and visualize yourself succeeding. See yourself overcoming obstacles, handling challenges with ease, and achieving your desired outcome. The more you practice this technique, the more confident you will feel when faced with similar challenges in real life. A crucial aspect of developing unshakable confidence is learning to embrace your uniqueness and strengths. Too often, people compare themselves to others and feel inadequate or insecure because they believe they don't measure up. However, every individual has a unique set of skills, experiences, and perspectives that make them valuable. Confidence is about embracing your individuality and recognizing that you have something special to offer. Take time to reflect on your strengths and what sets you apart from others. Focus on what you bring to the table rather than what you may perceive as shortcomings. By recognizing and celebrating your own unique qualities, you will naturally build a sense of confidence that is grounded in self-acceptance. Self-care plays a significant role in building confidence. When you prioritize your physical and mental well-being, you send a message to yourself that you value and respect your body and mind. Engaging in regular exercise, eating nutritious foods, getting enough sleep, and practicing mindfulness all contribute to a healthier, more confident mindset. When you feel good physically and mentally, it becomes easier to project confidence outwardly. Additionally, taking care of yourself boosts your energy levels and helps you to stay focused and motivated, which enhances your overall sense of self-belief. Overcoming the fear of failure is a critical step in developing unshakable confidence. Failure is often viewed as something negative or as a reflection of personal inadequacy, but in reality, failure is an essential part of the success process. Every successful person has experienced setbacks and failures, but what sets them apart is their ability to learn from these experiences and keep moving forward. When you shift your mindset to view failure as a learning opportunity rather than a reflection of your worth, you free yourself from the fear of failure. Instead of avoiding challenges or opportunities because of the fear of making mistakes, you become more willing to take risks and embrace the lessons that come from failure. This mindset shift is crucial for building unshakable confidence, as it allows you to take bold action without the fear of judgment or rejection. Building confidence also involves developing a strong sense of self-discipline. Confidence is not just about believing in your abilities, it's about consistently following through on your commitments, staying focused on your goals, and taking disciplined action, even when things get tough. The more disciplined you are in your approach to achieving your goals, the more confident you will feel in your ability to succeed. Self-discipline reinforces the belief that you have control over your actions and that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Start by creating a daily routine that supports your goals and stick to it. As you consistently show up for yourself and take action, your confidence will naturally grow. Surrounding yourself with supportive and positive people is another essential factor in building unshakable confidence. The people you spend the most time with can significantly influence your self-esteem and confidence levels. If you are surrounded by individuals who lift you up, encourage you, and believe in your potential, you will feel more confident and motivated to pursue your goals. On the other hand, if you are around people who are critical, negative, or unsupportive, it can erode your confidence and self-worth. Seek out relationships with individuals who inspire and empower you to be the best version of yourself. Their support will help you stay confident, even in the face of challenges. Finally, developing unshakable confidence requires a mindset shift. Confidence is not something that is given to you by others or dependent on external validation. It is something you must cultivate from within. Confidence is built by taking consistent action, reinforcing positive beliefs, and learning to trust yourself. When you make the decision to believe in yourself and your abilities, you unlock the power to create the life you desire. The more you practice these techniques and shift your mindset, the more unshakable your confidence will become. Cultivate resilience in the face of adversity. Life is filled with challenges, obstacles, and moments when things don't go as planned. Whether it's a personal setback, a professional failure, or an unexpected life event, adversity is an inevitable part of the human experience. How you respond to these challenges, however, can determine whether you rise or fall. Developing resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, learn from failures, and keep moving forward is one of the most essential qualities you can cultivate when reprogramming your mind for success. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulty, it's about embracing it, growing from it, and becoming stronger because of it. At the core of resilience is the ability to maintain a positive mindset, even in the face of overwhelming challenges. It is the capacity to look at obstacles as temporary and surmountable rather than permanent roadblocks. People who are resilient do not let failures define them. Instead, they see setbacks as part of the journey toward success. Resilient individuals understand that difficulty is a part of life and that every challenge presents an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. By embracing this mindset, you build the mental toughness required to keep moving forward when times get tough. One of the first steps in cultivating resilience is learning how to reframe your thinking when faced with adversity. Reframing is a technique that involves changing your perspective on a situation to see it in a more positive light. Instead of viewing a challenge as a failure or something negative, reframe it as a learning opportunity. For example, if you experience a setback in your career, rather than focusing on the disappointment, reframe the situation by asking yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this setback to grow and improve? This shift in perspective helps you to view adversity not as something to fear or avoid, but as a stepping stone to greater personal development. Another key element of resilience is maintaining a sense of purpose and motivation even when things don't go as planned. It's easy to lose motivation when faced with adversity, but resilient individuals stay connected to their why, the deeper reason behind their goals and dreams. This sense of purpose gives them the strength to keep pushing forward, even in the most challenging times. When you are clear about why you are pursuing your goals, it becomes easier to stay committed. Even when obstacles arise, your sense of purpose acts as a guiding light, reminding you of the bigger picture and helping you to stay focused on the end result, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. Emotional regulation plays a significant role in resilience. When faced with adversity, it's natural to experience negative emotions such as frustration, anger, sadness, or fear. However, resilient individuals are able to manage these emotions without allowing them to control their actions or mindset. Instead of being overwhelmed by their emotions, they acknowledge them and allow themselves to feel them, but they do not allow those feelings to dictate their behavior or decisions. Developing emotional resilience involves learning to respond to adversity with calmness and clarity rather than reacting impulsively or out of fear. This emotional regulation allows you to approach challenges with a clear mind, which helps you to make better decisions and take effective action. Resilience is also about building mental toughness through consistency and discipline. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going well, but resilient individuals continue to show up day in and day out, no matter the circumstances. They understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint, and they are committed to putting in the work, even when the results are not immediate. Developing this kind of mental toughness requires building positive habits that support your goals. Whether it's staying committed to your fitness routine, working on a personal project, or maintaining a productive work schedule, consistency breeds resilience. The more you develop the habit of showing up, the stronger your ability to withstand adversity becomes. Another vital aspect of resilience is developing a support system. While resilience is an individual trait, no one is truly resilient in isolation. Having a network of supportive friends, family, mentors, or colleagues can make all the difference when facing difficult times. These individuals can provide emotional support, offer different perspectives, and remind you of your strengths when you are feeling down. When you face setbacks, don't be afraid to reach out to others for guidance or encouragement. Sometimes, simply talking to someone who understands can provide the strength you need to keep going. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people who believe in your potential can help you to stay resilient and maintain your belief in yourself. Resilience is also strengthened by learning to adapt to change. Life is constantly evolving, and the ability to adapt to new circumstances is crucial for overcoming adversity. People who are resilient are not rigid in their thinking or approach. They are flexible and open to new ideas, strategies, and solutions. When something doesn't work out as planned, they are able to pivot and find alternative ways to achieve their goals. Developing resilience requires letting go of the need for perfection and embracing the idea that failure and change are inevitable parts of life. By learning to adapt to shifting circumstances, you build the flexibility and mental agility necessary to face any challenge head-on. Practicing self-compassion is another important element of resilience. When faced with adversity, it's easy to be hard on yourself, especially if things don't go as expected. However, resilient individuals show themselves kindness and understanding during tough times. They acknowledge that setbacks are a natural part of life and that they do not define their worth or potential. Instead of beating themselves up, They treat themselves with the same compassion they would offer a friend going through a difficult time. Practicing self-compassion helps to reduce negative self-talk and encourages a growth mindset, which is essential for building resilience. Finally, resilience is nurtured through a mindset of perseverance and persistence. No matter how many times you face setbacks, it is your ability to keep going that defines your success. Resilient individuals don't quit when things get tough. Instead, they press on, believing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. They understand that success is not linear and that each setback is merely a temporary obstacle to overcome. Developing a resilient mindset requires a commitment to never giving up, no matter how hard things may seem. Cultivating resilience in the face of adversity is not easy, but it is one of the most valuable qualities you can develop. By reframing challenges, staying connected to your purpose, managing your emotions, staying disciplined, seeking support, adapting to change, practicing self-compassion, and persevering through setbacks, you can develop the mental and emotional strength required to overcome any obstacle. Resilience is the key to turning adversity into opportunity and continuing to move forward, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. Break free from limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are the invisible chains that hold us back from achieving our full potential. They are the stories we tell ourselves about what we are capable of, often formed from past experiences, societal conditioning, or negative self-talk. These beliefs can manifest in various ways, such as thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "I'm not deserving of happiness." While these beliefs may feel deeply ingrained, they are not facts. They are simply patterns of thought that can be changed with the right mindset and strategies. Reprogramming your mind requires identifying and breaking free from these limiting beliefs, allowing you to unlock your true potential and create the life you desire. The first step in breaking free from limiting beliefs is recognizing them. Often, limiting beliefs are so deeply ingrained in our subconscious that we don't even realize we hold them. They operate on autopilot, shaping our decisions, actions, and reactions without us being fully aware of their influence. To identify these beliefs, start by paying attention to the thoughts that arise whenever you face a challenge or an opportunity. Do you find yourself thinking, "This is too hard for me," or "I don't have what it takes"? These are classic signs of limiting beliefs. Another way to identify these beliefs is by reflecting on past situations where you held yourself back or didn't pursue a goal. What thoughts or beliefs were you holding on to that prevented you from taking action? By becoming aware of these patterns, you can start to uncover the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, the next step is to question their validity. Ask yourself, is this belief true? Is it based on fact, or is it simply a story I've been telling myself for years? Often limiting beliefs are based on fear, past failures, or assumptions that are not rooted in reality. For example, if you believe that you are not good enough to achieve success, ask yourself, what evidence do I have to support this belief? Have I had any past successes or moments where I've proven myself capable? When you examine your beliefs through this lens, you'll often find that they are exaggerated or unfounded. This realization alone can begin to weaken the power that these beliefs hold over you. The next crucial step in breaking free from limiting beliefs is to replace them with empowering beliefs. Once you've questioned the validity of your limiting beliefs, you can begin to challenge them by replacing them with positive, empowering thoughts. For instance, if you have a belief that you're not good enough to achieve your goals, replace it with the belief, "I am capable and deserving of success." Affirmations and positive self-talk are powerful tools in this process. Repeating empowering statements daily can reprogram your subconscious mind and replace the old limiting beliefs with new supportive ones. The more consistently you practice this, the more natural it will feel to believe in your capabilities and potential. Visualization is another powerful tool for breaking free from limiting beliefs. When you visualize yourself succeeding, you are effectively rewiring your brain to see success as possible. Imagine yourself achieving your goals and living the life you desire. Picture the emotions, the sense of accomplishment, and the fulfillment that comes with it. The more vivid and real you make these visualizations, the more your subconscious mind will start to accept this as your new reality. Over time, this visualization practice will help to replace the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back with a new sense of possibility and confidence. Another key element of breaking free from limiting beliefs is taking action. Beliefs are not just thoughts. They are deeply connected to our behaviors. If you believe that you're not good enough, you may avoid taking risks, trying new things, or pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. On the other hand, when you begin to take action toward your goals, even if it's just small steps, you start to gather evidence that contradicts your limiting beliefs. Each action you take becomes proof that you are capable and deserving of success. Even if you don't immediately achieve the desired result, the fact that you took action and faced your fears will gradually shift your mindset and weaken the grip of those limiting beliefs. The more you act, the more confident you become, and the more your belief in yourself grows. It's also important to understand that breaking free from limiting beliefs is a process that takes time and persistence. You may not be able to completely eliminate these beliefs overnight, especially if they have been a part of your thinking for years. However, with consistent effort, you can gradually replace old beliefs with new ones. Be patient with yourself during this process, and don't get discouraged if you find yourself slipping back into old thought patterns. Instead of beating yourself up, acknowledge the setback and refocus on the empowering beliefs you want to cultivate. Progress may be gradual, but with each small victory, you will get closer to fully breaking free from your limiting beliefs. Another powerful technique for overcoming limiting beliefs is to seek out role models and mentors who have achieved what you want to accomplish. By observing their journeys, you can see firsthand that success is possible even in the face of adversity. Learning about the challenges they overcame and the strategies they used can help you to see that you are not alone in your struggles and that your limiting beliefs are not the ultimate truth. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive individuals who believe in your potential can provide the encouragement and motivation needed to push through your own limiting beliefs. Finally, one of the most powerful ways to break free from limiting beliefs is by embracing the idea of growth and learning. Limiting beliefs often stem from a fixed mindset, the belief that our abilities and qualities are set in stone and cannot be changed. A growth mindset, on the other hand, is the belief that we can improve and develop through effort and learning. When you adopt a growth mindset, you begin to see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as threats to your self-worth. This shift in perspective allows you to let go of limiting beliefs and replace them with the belief that you are capable of continual growth and improvement. Breaking free from limiting beliefs is one of the most empowering steps you can take on your journey to reprogramming your mind. By identifying your limiting beliefs, questioning their validity, replacing them with empowering beliefs, and taking consistent action, you can free yourself from the mental barriers that have been holding you back. With time, patience, and persistence, you can transform your mindset, unlock your true potential, and create the life you've always dreamed of. Develop a habit of continuous growth, and learning the journey of reprogramming your mind is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong process. To truly unlock your potential and sustain the mental transformation that you've worked hard to achieve, you must commit to continuous growth and learning. This step is vital for staying on track with your goals, expanding your capabilities, and ensuring that you are always evolving into the best version of yourself. Growth and learning are the keys to maintaining the momentum you've built and avoiding the pitfalls of complacency or stagnation. The world around us is constantly changing, and the only way to keep up is by embracing the mindset of a lifelong learner. By developing a habit of continuous growth, you will not only strengthen your mind, but also enhance your adaptability and resilience, making it easier to navigate any challenges that arise. The first aspect of cultivating a habit of continuous growth is adopting a mindset of curiosity and openness. When you approach life with curiosity, you are constantly seeking new knowledge and experiences that can enhance your skills and understanding. This mindset allows you to see every situation as an opportunity to learn, whether it's a new task, a challenge, or even a failure. Curiosity fuels your desire to explore, innovate, and improve, helping you to stay engaged and excited about your personal and professional growth. When you open yourself up to learning from all aspects of life, you become more adaptable, resourceful, and able to overcome obstacles with creativity and confidence. This approach helps you move forward with a sense of possibility rather than limitation, empowering you to break through barriers and continuously expand your potential. Another crucial element of continuous growth is the commitment to setting and revisiting your goals. The process of goal setting is not static. It should be dynamic and flexible, evolving as you grow and learn. When you set goals, you give yourself a clear direction and purpose. However, these goals should be reviewed and updated regularly to reflect your evolving vision and aspirations. As you learn and grow, your goals may shift or become more refined. This continuous adjustment ensures that you are always challenging yourself and moving closer to your desired outcomes. Regularly revisiting your goals also helps you stay focused and motivated. It allows you to track your progress, celebrate your achievements, and identify areas for improvement, which are essential for maintaining a sense of momentum and purpose on your growth journey. The process of continuous growth and learning is greatly enhanced by seeking out mentors and role models who can guide you along the way. Mentorship is an invaluable resource for gaining new perspectives, receiving feedback, and learning from the experiences of others. A mentor can help you navigate challenges, offer advice based on their own successes and failures, and provide encouragement when needed. Having someone who has already walked the path you are on can help accelerate your learning and prevent you from making avoidable mistakes. Additionally, mentors can help you stay accountable to your growth and development by pushing you to reach your potential and stay on track with your goals. The insight and wisdom shared by a mentor can be transformative, serving as a compass to guide your continuous growth. Equally important in the pursuit of ongoing growth is the habit of self-reflection. Taking time to reflect on your experiences allows you to gain deeper insights into your behavior, actions, and mindset. Self-reflection is an essential tool for understanding what is working for you and what needs improvement. When you regularly assess your progress, you are better able to identify patterns in your thinking and behavior that may be holding you back. This reflection allows you to make conscious adjustments to your mindset, actions, and strategies, helping you to course correct and stay aligned with your goals. Moreover, reflecting on your successes gives you the confidence to move forward, while reflecting on your failures provides valuable lessons that can fuel your growth. Continuous growth also involves taking deliberate action, even when you don't feel fully prepared. Growth is not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about applying that knowledge in real-world situations. Taking consistent action, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain, is a critical component of learning and growth. The process of stepping outside your comfort zone and tackling new challenges is where the most significant development occurs. It is in these moments of discomfort and uncertainty that you learn to adapt, refine your skills, and build resilience. When you approach new opportunities with the mindset of, "I will learn through doing," you open yourself up to growth in ways that theory and passive learning cannot achieve. Whether you're starting a new project, learning a new skill, or pursuing a different path in life, action is the bridge between knowledge and real-world transformation. Another key to continuous growth is embracing feedback, whether positive or constructive. Feedback is a gift. It provides valuable insights into areas where you can improve and refine your approach. Instead of viewing feedback as criticism, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Whether it's feedback from a mentor, colleague, or even from your own experiences, taking it to heart and using it to fuel your improvement will accelerate your progress. Being open to feedback requires humility and self-awareness. It requires the willingness to acknowledge that there is always room for growth and that others' perspectives can provide valuable lessons that may not have been obvious to you. When you embrace feedback, you turn potential setbacks into opportunities for improvement and refinement. As part of your ongoing growth journey, it's essential to prioritize personal development activities that challenge and stimulate your mind. Reading books, attending seminars, taking courses, and engaging in discussions with others who share your interests can all contribute to your growth. The more you expose yourself to new ideas, perspectives, and knowledge, the more you expand your intellectual capacity and creativity. Continuous learning doesn't just happen by chance. It requires intentional effort and dedication. Surrounding yourself with people who value growth and intellectual stimulation can help keep you motivated and encourage you to push your boundaries. In addition to intellectual growth, it's equally important to nurture your emotional and physical growth. Maintaining a healthy mind and body is fundamental to sustaining your growth journey. Regular physical exercise, healthy eating habits, and practices such as meditation or mindfulness can enhance your mental clarity, energy levels, and emotional well-being. When your body and mind are in harmony, you are better equipped to handle challenges, stay focused, and remain resilient. Emotional growth also involves cultivating emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your emotions and those of others. Developing emotional intelligence helps you navigate relationships, handle stress, and build deeper connections with others, which all contribute to your overall growth. Ultimately, the habit of continuous growth and learning is the foundation of a successful and fulfilling life. It keeps you moving forward, ensures that you are always evolving, and equips you to face the ever-changing landscape of life. By committing to lifelong learning, seeking new knowledge, taking consistent action, embracing feedback, and nurturing your mind, body, and emotions, you can ensure that you are constantly growing, improving, and becoming the best version of yourself. This mindset of growth empowers you to not only achieve your goals, but also to create a life that is rich in purpose, fulfillment, and endless possibilities.